Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans.
Even the backup quarterback game.
Yep. 2-0 Colts against the 0-2 Titans. It's Sunday at 1. Colts are favored by 4.5 here. Over-under is 43.5. Thoughts on this game? Can Indy keep it going? They set themselves up for a 3-0 start here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess on the road, but this feels like a line that I would have expected to be a bit bigger as well. I think the man in Vegas isn't giving the Colts respect yet. Even though they just
not yet.
Again.
The Titans are feisty, man. They're still going to be tough. They played the Rams tough for 2 to 3 quarters last week. I thought they played them tough, and I thought the Cam Ward factor. I think everything that we said at the beginning of the season is, hey, if he's special and he can overcome just a less than roster right now, they could sneak some wins in there. And again, first half, Cam kind of did that, and then things fell apart. I worry about Cam Ward's consistency right now, and consistency in the pocket movement, pocket manipulation. He does a lot of really good things. It's just putting together 4 quarters of football for Cam Ward. I thought you saw the same thing against Denver in week 1. There was a couple bad decisions in there, inviting pressure, and then there was other times the rest of the team let him down. So it's been a mixed bag, I think, for Cam Ward, but one of those more there's plenty of things to be optimistic around for him. So my point is, if he has a little bit more of the special, like he did last week, throw back across his body touchdown, they have a chance to pull this upset.
Yeah, in particular, if he can continue that connection he has with the other rookie, Maynard, the wide receiver that they drafted in the 2nd round. Calvin Ridley, I think we know, and you coming in, like, he's a solid receiver, but if he's your number 1 guy, you've got some problems.
Yeah.
They need Maynard to be that guy. He had a really nice catch down the sideline, and then he was on the end of the ridiculous throwback across his body touchdown thing. Ward needs help. I think what we've seen already is he looks pretty good, but he's not going to be so special. Like, he's not going to be Jaden Daniels from last year, right? Where basically his presence by itself turns the team into something completely different. He needs some help, and Maynard could be that help.
A lot of injuries on both sides. Devondre Sweat's been banged up for the Titans. I don't know if he'll be back. L'Jarius Sneed's didn't practice as of Wednesday. J.C. Latham missed last week, starting tackle for the Titans. Laiatu Latu missed for the Colts. I think Bernard Ryman was sick. I mean, when I see illness on a Wednesday, I assume they'll be back in by Sunday these days. But who knows? I think a lot of those guys make a huge difference. Jeffrey Simmons, when he has Sweat next to him, I think it helps a ton, especially with the run game. Latham, he had his struggles, I think, in week 1, but, he's still the starter, missing him. And the Titans' offensive line's been a bit of a disappointment. If Latu is back for the Colts, that adds a lot of defensive line depth, and I think they have a chance to create some pressure on Cam Ward there. Big question for me, though, is going to be Indy's offense. As great as they've been through 2 weeks, how long are they going to keep this going? Will they be able to continue to move the ball as effectively as they have, both against the Dolphins? We said, hey, it's the Dolphins.
Asterisk.
But against the Broncos last week,
better.
Much more impressive.
Yeah.
That they did what they did. Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action.
I mean, I'm pretty confident that the Colts offense now is going to be good. And maybe you're going to get a Daniel Jones game somewhere along the line where it's just a stinker and that changes things. But overall, I think this offense is going to be good. I'm more interested, I think, in the other side of the ball where Cam Ward and this Titans offense, they've been up against 2 elite-level defenses, right? Denver's defense in week 1, he gave up they had a 50% pressure rate in that game. He was under pressure literally half of his snaps. And then the Rams in week 2, we know what they can do as a defensive line, as a defensive front. The Colts aren't that. They might have a pretty good defense, but they're not where the other 2 teams are, certainly not up front. So does easing off the pressure a little bit for Cam Ward let him be more of the special, Jaden Daniels, game-changing type of player? That's interesting, I think.
Yeah, and he hasn't had health across the backfield, hasn't had health on the offensive line. You mentioned the, lack of depth maybe at receiver or high-end talent at receiver. So it was going to be a work in progress for Tennessee in their offense. Just want to continue to see development from Cam Ward. He's been sacked more than any quarterback in the NFL. And, yeah, some of those are absolutely on him. And other times, yeah, he's been under some quick pressure that is tough to avoid. So keep an eye on that. And then, yeah, man, Indy just looks like a good, well-rounded team right now. I think they'll take care of business and continue to build the hype. Any given week, though, Daniel Jones maybe won't play that great, so who knows?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones favored by 4.5 here. Does that scare you at all?
No, because I think, look, it's what we said coming into the season. This is the best supporting cast that Daniel Jones has had. They don't need him to play. They just need him not to screw it up, right? I mean, game manager is that pejorative term, but that's really all he needs to be, is just get the ball to your receivers. Jonathan Taylor can take a workload out of the backfield. You've got, elite players now at tight end with Tyler Warren. Your offensive line is in pretty good shape. Just don't screw it up. Like, that's all he needs to do.
I think Tyler Warren has a chance to have a huge game here against the Titans linebackers. And the way they've found ways to get Tyler Warren the ball the first 2 weeks, I think that'll just continue to improve or continue to grow. So I think they do have a lot of weapons in Indy.
Yeah.
Good, well-rounded group of weapons, as we've said all season here. Colts favored by 4.5 here Sunday at 1. Where are you going to go with it?
I'm going with the Colts, right? Yeah.
I took Tennessee last week to keep it close against the Rams.
Same, I think.
I'm not going to do that.
Even late in the game, I thought they had a chance to, and then
they did, and I think there's turnovers, there's enough negative plays that I'm just not trusting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
trust. I think the problem
Tennessee
is when you're relying on that for a team that's probably not going to score much. Like, it's hard to keep, it's hard to keep a game. It's hard to keep a line low when the game is low scoring, because if somebody puts a touchdown somewhere, that's it, done.
I just hate the division game 4.5. I'll take Indy though. Harry will also take Indy.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?